railroad is the vital economic link for a vast and rich and rugged land. This gentle land I'm moving through, the air smells good, the sky is soft and blue. 5 miles of wheat fields surrounding me. At night I try to dream, but yellow wheat is all I see. Won't you come down, Annie? You would be having so much fun. The morning's got wild blossoms, the afternoon's got sun. Gentle Annie, gentle land. The railroad is deeply involved in the lives of the people it serves. Even before the wheat harvest is finished, the railroad has distributed cars to local grain elevators to carry it to market. There's not enough storage space for it all, so timing is important. The scene is repeated thousands of times in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, where more than half of America's wheat is grown. Wheat, corn, barley, oats, pears from Oregon and oranges from California, beef from Colorado and potatoes from Idaho, sugar from Wyoming and fish from the Pacific. Food moves from farm to table on a scale that only the railroad can handle. To help farmers through the complications of the world grain markets, the railroad has agricultural specialists like Charlie Jarrett.
This wheat is moving in here all the time. It's stored here, then the export market bids come in and loaded out into ships. Most of the wheat here goes to the Far East. A little of it goes to South and Central America. This ship is a 28,000-ton ship. That's about 1 million bushels. If you brought it down to railroad cars, it'll be somewhere around 400 cars. That's about 4 train loads. That's quite a little wheat.
As basic as food is fuel. Abundant low-sulfur coal from Montana and Wyoming helps meet the demand for cleaner air and helps ease the nation's energy crisis. There was no way to transport this coal economically until a railroad provided a unit train, a train that carries only one kind of cargo to a single destination. It takes nearly 50,000 people to keep the railroad running, and railroaders are a special breed.
I've been around 20 years now, and I've seen railroaders quit for a short period, and I've seen a lot of them come back, and not only for the money or the job, but there's something that they miss, and it gets kind of born in you, I think, the railroading does.
Like father, like son, I guess they always say. So, now keep it in the family. I enjoy working with them. It's nice to know that when you get up in the morning and you're going to go relieve your dad or he's going to come and relieve you. It's a nice feeling to know.
It's been a challenge, I know, to me, and I'm sure to most other engineers, to be able to take a train and get it over the road without breaking them in two and without doing damage to the lading or crew members and so forth.
I believe that the railroads, with the tonnage they're hauling nowadays and the way they can expedite movements, is something great. And it's improved so much in the 20 years that I've been railroading.
I'm well satisfied. I got a good family. I got a rifle. Got lots of shells. Damn right. I wouldn't trade her to anybody. I wouldn't trade my job for anybody either. That's the truth. I got just what I worked for all these years.
I like the outdoors a lot, you know. Like Casey says, it's not polluted or anything, you know. The air is clean around here. In some places in the city it's kind of bad, but you can drive to the ocean, you know, in a day. You can drive to the mountains, you know, or east of the mountains where it's a desert during the summertime. In the wintertime it's cold. It's just really nice.
People are nice, let's put it that way, you know. Good guys around, you know. Oh, I'm happy where I am now as a machinist, because I do enjoy my job here, and I like the people who's working here with me, and so that's what I'm going to say, I guess.
I like it on the railroad. It's a good place to work. Huh?
To keep traffic moving smoothly, the railroad has invested tens of millions of dollars in sophisticated electronic equipment. It enables one track to handle almost as much traffic as two.
Union Tower 250 to 84, track 3 at 13.
Okay, here's 231, track 2, 513, 73.
All right. Retarder.
Car 31 to Gale.
Eyeball 183. Dispatcher.
With 8 orders, 622.
Clear extra 6552 west.
the city. Chicago or Seattle, Denver or Dallas, Omaha or St. Paul. Without the railroad's massive movement of goods in and out each day, our cities could not exist. The railroad's diversity is expressed by its young men and women.
BN's success is probably a combination of many things. It serves a growing portion of the United States, growing economically, that is. It serves some diversity of industry, that is, it serves the agriculture industry. It serves some industrial cities, you might say the manufacturing industry, and it serves the consuming public in the areas around its network.
We originate over 600 through trains a day on the railroad, and that's a lot of trains. Now those trains require locomotives, and they require cabooses to run those trains. And the activity that you see behind me right now is designed to make sure that the right cabooses and the right locomotives get on the right trains.
I work with about 5 different sections of the operating department, and that in itself is something very few other programmers up here get a chance to do. I get to work with engineering, which means I get a chance to work with mathematical programming, linear programming. Some of these terms, they're more abstract and they're not used very often, but they're fantastic to use, even if it's only once or twice a year that you get a chance to use them. Plus all the new equipment, we're one of the first groups that get a chance to use it. Terminals, we have as many as we want to use. It's because our work is the type that has to be done.
A 1.5 million square miles of land, 19 states, almost 50 million people, 26,000 miles of track. The Pacific Gateway is Seattle, where Railroad Vice President Tol Watanabe works to improve international transportation.
Probably one of the biggest challenges in our economic system today is the improvement of transportation, which has certainly been the result of the ocean containerized system. This has revolutionized the whole railroad industry. The containers here are commodities coming in from the Far East, and within less than 24 hours, the railroads will be picking these boxes up and moving them into the inland areas. Well, that's saving time, that's saving money to the consumers, and that's certainly saving ship time to the shippers. That is the responsibility of the railroads today.
The railroad provides desirable land sites along the right-of-way. Attracted by economical freight rates and improved rail service, over 1,500 new industries have built or expanded their plants along the railroad's lines. These industries help balance the economy of areas traditionally tied to natural resources and raw materials. Forest Grove, Big Timber, Pine City, Cottonwood, Plentywood. The names of towns and villages tell the story. It's an area that makes over half of the nation's timber products, lumber, plywood, paper, hauled inexpensively to distant markets by rail. On a typical day, there are more than 100,000 freight cars on 26,000 miles of rail. To keep track of them all, the railroad uses advanced computer systems. Sorting them out by destination is the job of the classification yard.
Yard map 6116. Yeah, you heading back up this way yet?
46 is clear now. Yeah, that's true. We took everything over to the house.
All right.
It's coming up off.
We'll see how it goes. I may want those cars up here on the hump.
Run me 20.
Gone. You in there, Johnny? You come back, reach down into Rip 4, will you? Dig me out a 10, 114 caboose. Put it on the east end of that departure number 6.
Okay, then. When you stay in the clear, they're going to drop the caboose.
Oh, they're going to drop the caboose?
Yes.
Got your picture, Dino?
Yeah.
Okay, fire them up and let them go.
Trains come in and are routed to the hump. The freight cars are pushed over the crest, down an incline, and sorted by computer-controlled switches to their proper tracks. The job is tremendous. 2,000 freight cars every 24 hours.
That one on line 3 would have went, but you got that F1, so that'd be the one for 14. That's where it's at, down on top of 34. That's it.
Is it Johnny?
Yeah.
Hey, you ready over there?
Pick me up a little cut of car and take down into Departure 2 on your way down, will you?
Okay, what do you have?
Bowl 5 and bowl 6. Take it.
Right back with you, right up the main line if you want.
Leaving this side of the middle crossover.
Okay, Doc, we got you.
Say, Harold? Yeah. You hit the end of the train down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the classification yard, the work goes on. Day and night, 7 days a week, all year long.
Humming on the rails, on the shining trails of tomorrow. In front of me, my destiny. In back of me, how distant is my sorrow. There's signal lights and rainy nights in Portland, and the windy track way back in Idaho. There's the ranch house with the people who wait in Wyoming. Zooming by too fast for one hello. Humming on the rail. Humming, whoa, humming. Oh, I've been to leafy valleys and the road through a howling storm, and to smell the air on great and pine mountains. But I'm dreaming of a still more distant shore. Humming, humming on the rails, on the shiny trails of tomorrow. Humming, humming.
In the United States, we consume kilowatts like candy. We may try to conserve, but there seems a bottomless demand for energy. At the same time, there is a limit to our energy supply, especially as oil gets scarcer and more expensive. Yet there is a partial answer. Coal, low-sulfur Western coal, probably America's most abundant energy source well into the 21st century. So coal is vital to America's future. But to be ultimately useful, the Western coal has to reach the generating plants that transform it into power. Getting it to where it has to go is one of the jobs of Burlington Northern. It comes from big country, the coal, from the regions of huge sky, high plains, short grass, in northern Wyoming and southern Montana. There, the coal boom amounts to a second opening of the West. Lines of the Burlington Northern pass through the vast Fort Union Coal Formation, home of 18 surface mines. Additional mines are on the drawing board. BN's assignment is to move this coal over 4 rail corridors to waiting power plants in the Pacific Northwest, Midwest, and Southwest. The hauling of that coal is one of the greatest challenges and greatest opportunities to face an American railroad in modern times. The rapid expansion of the Western coal industry propelled BN into the largest rail maintenance and construction program of the past half-century. It has put BN among the nation's largest coal carriers. In the space of half a decade, BN has spent about $1 billion to upgrade and expand its coal-carrying capability. At the Western mines, huge silos funnel coal into moving trains. More than 100 cars in about 3 hours. Sometimes 8 trains a day. When one of them heads down the track, it's a lot of coal underway and a lot of money. About $8 million worth of high horsepower locomotives and specially built cars. These are unit trains, carrying a single product straight through to a single destination. This eliminates time-consuming, expensive delays in switching in freight yards. Without unit trains, the cost of transporting coal to market would be prohibitive. A typical loaded unit train weighs about 14,000 tons, so wear and tear on equipment is considerable. At its new maintenance and repair shops at Alliance, Nebraska, BN deals with that problem. Here, BN maintains many hundreds of locomotives a year, can repair 140 cars every 24 hours. Here, at this key point on the central and southern coal corridors, BN keeps its rolling stock rolling. The impending buildup of coal traffic made it apparent that new tracks would be needed to speed the flow. BN responded by building the Gillette-Oren line, the longest stretch of new railroad to be laid in the United States since 1931. Reaching 116 miles from Gillette, Wyoming to Oren, Wyoming, the new line links BN's principal east-west routes. It provides another way into and out of the coal fields, reduces traffic congestion, and cuts up to 155 miles round trip from some of the hauls south. As construction of the new line begins, the Wyoming landscape comes alive with great machines. By the time the new line is completed, they will have moved more than 15 million cubic yards of earth to build the roadbed. And they will have replaced over 1 million yards of topsoil, so grass can grow again. The line crosses the grain of the country. 26 bridges are built, underpasses and overpasses, including the span across Antelope Creek, 60 feet high, nearly 500 feet long. It's range country with wildlife and livestock. There was concern about how the animals would cross the line. To accommodate them, BN installs numerous box culverts and underpasses, safe crossing for animals, easy access to the range for modern-day cowboys. $110 million.